guys, I'm Aveline and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building a house for a pair of grandparents because I was really in the mood to decorate something for grandma, and I mentioned it on the Discord server. By the way, if you want to join the server, there is still an invitation link in the description down below. But I mentioned on the server that I wanted to build something for grandma, and they were like, no, what about granddads? Don't forget the granddads. So I decided to build something for a pair of grandparents, so it's not just for the grandma. So this will be for both. There is also 2 rooms for grandkids actually. So there is one for a kid and one for a teen. I will say that the 2 rooms do look very lived in, so I don't know if the kids actually, like, if they live with the grandparents or if they just come over very often or something. It's just, there's a lot going on in those rooms. You know, guys know how I am when it comes to decorating. I like to use a lot of clutter. I like to make everything very lived in. So I kind of stuck to that usual. I didn't want it to look like hotel rooms or something, so there you go. Or guest rooms either, because that's just not, no, that's not really what I'm going for. So yeah, but I hope you guys like this house. So this is built on a 30 by 30 in Brindleton Bay. It's been a while since I've built anything in Brindleton Bay actually, I think. So I was happy to revisit this world. So it's been a long time. I actually really like building in Brindleton because I like the whole vibe of the place. The only thing is that it still bothers me that we don't have the right terrain paint, which just sometimes makes it really difficult to, because I like to use terrain paints, you guys know this, I like to layer terrain paints as well, but it's just, it makes it a little bit difficult to do lane skipping when you don't have terrain paints that match. So that's an issue. It's probably one of the reasons why I don't build here very often anymore. And also the fact that Brindleton Bay is pretty much done for the save file, so I have no excuse to build here now. So yeah, that's how that is. But since we're building a house for a pair of grandparents, okay, my grandma, who's no longer with us, she passed away 3 years ago, but she used to live with my granddad before he passed as well. They used to live on the countryside actually, so they used to live on a farm that wasn't really a proper farm anymore. It had kind of been renovated into like a proper house almost, and what was supposed to be the hall where you'd keep, you know, animals like cows or pigs or whatever had been turned into this sort of common room. So I don't know, for me, grandparents just don't live in the city. They live on the countryside. Although my other grandma does live in the city, but I don't really know. I visited my other grandma, my mom's mom, a lot more than my dad's mom anyways. Actually, my dad's mom used to, whenever I visited her, she used to be in the summer residence. So that was sort of not in the city as well, so I suppose. But that's completely besides the point. I just really felt like building a house for grandparents would fit in perfectly in Brindleton Bay. So that is why we're building here today. So I hope you guys are okay with that. It's been a while. It's also really frustrating to take thumbnail pictures in this area, by the way, because either there'll be trees in the way or you'll have lampposts. And these are like big lampposts. You can see one of them right in front of the house in a bit. I had to move this house to one of the other lots for the thumbnail, so if you look at the end pictures and the first picture is not in the same spot or in the same location as the other pictures, that would be why. But that's just how it works sometimes. There's only one lot in this area. Like, we're building in the upper left side of Brindleton Bay, so it's where you can see there's like cows in the background, and there's a small town as well with a big clock, and it's such a cute area. I wish I built here more, but it's just the whole terrain paint issue is the thing. I'm maybe gonna build something on the 40 by 30 down by the end of the street at some point very soon, because I really feel like building something very rustic on that lot, but we will see. But anyways, I had to move this house to that lot because there was a lamppost in the way, and the 40 by 30 is the only lot in this area that doesn't have a freaking lamppost in front of it. I don't actually know about the park. I haven't done the park yet for the save file, but it's still going to be a park. I just don't think I'm gonna do a video on it. I think I'm just gonna do it off cam just because that it won't be a very interesting build to watch, to be honest. So, but there'll be a park over there for the save file. Also, this house is not going to be in the save file. I think I already have, yeah, actually I already have a family living in a house on this lot in the save file, so I won't be swapping them out with anyone. But of course, if you want this house over the other house that I have on this lot, you can just swap it out once the save file is uploaded and everything. I don't have a set date. I keep getting questions about it. I've not set a date just because I don't want to pressure myself, because I'd like to make everything perfect for the save file, so I don't want to rush things. I just want to take my time and just build when inspiration hits, because everything is just going to be so final and stuff. So yeah, I'm just taking my time, but it's in the works, so don't worry about that. Also, the sim at the front of the lot, by the way, is Faye. I've turned her into an elder just because she had to look like a grandma. So we have an old Faye in the game as well now. So I'd like to introduce you all to Elder Faye. There you go. She's right there. She's got an issue with her back currently. I don't really know. Anyways, I wasn't really... Actually, oh, I forgot to say, this house was actually inspired by a house that I saw on Pinterest. However, that house didn't really translate very well into The Sims, so I had to add a lot of stuff and change a lot of stuff, so the house that we ended up with doesn't actually look like the original house at all. The only thing they got in common is the little bit at the front of the house. No, actually no, because that doesn't even look like it. Because I added gambrel roofing to the front bit and also the back bit, and I don't even know. Like it didn't translate very well into The Sims, but I really just wanted to build something cute and with gambrel roofing. So this sort of barn-like roofing that you see here on the two front pieces, I really wanted to build something with that because it had been a while and I had loved to build those kind of cottages, or, you know, builds with this kind of roofing. It's just really difficult to do sometimes. And also the upstairs has basically no windows because of it, so that's just something you'll have to bear in mind. But I did do my best with the floor plan, so there should be light in every single room. The only thing is, in the teens room, because there is actually a terrace outside, there's no light coming in through the windows because there is a terrace, but it's a closed off terrace. You'll see that, like, once we get to the second floor again, you can probably see it. It's on the top room, like, when you're looking at it. It's the room in the top of the picture. So basically, because you saw at the back of the house, the second floor has this sort of closed off terrace where I used some of the open windows from Cats and Dogs, actually. So it still counts as a closed off room, which is why the room that's like the next room next to it doesn't get any sunlight in, even though there are windows. That's just how the game works. I can't do anything about it, but I just wanted to point it out for you guys. So that's the only room that doesn't technically have any sunlight in it, even though there are windows, but I can't really do much about it, so hopefully it's okay with you guys anyways. I was actually really struggling with the floor plan just because of the gambrel roofing. Even though we're not using gambrel roofing, like the whole second floor isn't covered by gambrel roofing, but I did have to split the roofing up into 3 different pieces so that I could actually make a second floor. So I was just struggling a little bit with it because of the windows and stuff, but I think it turned out fine. I also definitely like the ground floor better than the second floor, but of course we're not struggling with roofing and stuff on the ground floor, so that kind of makes sense. Also, the grandparents' room is on the ground floor, as always when it comes to grandparents' rooms, just because I don't want them to walk up and down the stairs too much, because I feel sorry for the elders in The Sims when they have to walk up and down the stairs. I don't know, it makes me a little bit uneasy, so I just like to put their bedrooms on the ground floor to make it a little bit easier for them. So, I mean, you saw Faye standing outside. She has back issues and she just turned into an elder, so I'm just saying, I don't want anything to happen to our elders, so I just make sure that their bedrooms are on the ground floor to make it a little bit easier. They should have a bathroom down here, but it's a very small one. It's a 2x3, and there's only a shower and also a sink and a toilet in there. And there's also a laundry room, which is only a 2x2, but it's right here next to the kitchen. So it's in a closed off room, but it's just a laundry room. There's only laundry machines in there. I figured that would probably be realistic in some country out there. So we're just kind of going with what fits the house. You know, I've talked about this several times on my channel, but laundry machines, it's like placement of laundry machines differs from country to country. So I'm just kind of going with whatever fits the house at the time. So today they're in a room by themselves, in a very, very small room even. And then we have begun decorating the kitchen. So for the kitchen, we are going with Parenthood counters. I think the bar stools are from Parenthood as well. The little closet thing here on the left side is actually from Cats and Dogs. And I also made sure that they had room for a cat in this house. So there is a cat tree in the teens room. There should also be a litter box in the bigger bathroom on the second floor. And there's also a couple of toy boxes here and there as well. So hopefully the cat should have everything they need. But I will admit at the end, like when I was done decorating everything, I kind of looked back on it and I was like, oh, did I remember everything for the cat? Because I feel like in The Sims, the cats need so much more maintenance than dogs do, even though in real life, I think it's the opposite. So I don't know why that is, but maybe that's just my head. I don't really know. But I hope I managed to fit in everything the cat should need. So they have some toys to keep them busy so they won't go scratching the furniture and stuff. That can get pretty expensive in The Sims actually, because your Sims will have to replace all the furniture all the time because they get scratch marks on them and it's not very pretty. So I hope I managed, but anyways, in here we got the common room. So we both got the living room or the living area with the TV, and they have a bigger, fancier TV, but it's just sort of fit the area. You can swap it out with a smaller one if you want to. I just felt like since there was room for it, I wanted to spoil the grandparents just a little bit. Also, my grandma used to have a very, very fancy TV that I happen to have now, which is very strange. I don't have a couch yet. I just have a TV hanging on the wall. My apartment is a little bit weird these days, but hopefully it'll come together at some point. But now I have this fancy TV that my grandma used to have. And since my grandparents used to have I don't know, they had a nice TV, a nice stereo, all that sort of stuff. So the only thing they had that was older was the computer. The computer could basically only run like Doom and Pac-Man and what are those other older games that are very pixelated? I don't remember what they were called, but it was a very, very old computer. So in this house, I did give them an office actually, just because I felt like it would make sense for them to have a closed off room where they could sit and read a book on their own. So if the TV is running in the living room, they can just go to the office and sit in there and read a book. They have 3 different bookcases in there, and I also ended up putting the computer in there. So it's an older computer though. It's I don't know if it's older, but it's one of the cheaper ones just because it reminded me of my grandparents' computer. So I played Pac-Man on that computer so much, and also watched my sister play Doom so much. So good memories, but anyways. So we're just quickly doing the hallway here before moving on to the office that I talked about just before. But I really wanted, you can see right here, I'm using these drawings from Parenthood actually. I really wanted a few items around the house that could look like their grandkids had made them for them. So they do end up having those drawings. There's a couple of drawings, some other plays as well. Plus, I actually went into the debug catalog to find some of the children's drawings that came with seasons, I think. So if you have your child sit at the drawing table, there's actually a drawing table upstairs in the hallway, by the way. I don't know if I place it on camera just because the roofing on the second floor is a little bit crazy, which makes the camera go nuts. So I was having a few issues with that. Plus, sped up, it makes it even more confusing. So there were bits upstairs that I had to cut out because of that, but hopefully that is okay with you guys. But if you have your kids sit down at the drawing table and you have seasons, you can have them draw these different seasonal drawings and put them on a string and stuff. So you'll find those in the debug catalog if you use the bb.showhiddenobjects and then you type in debug in the little, there's a search filter or a search box on the left side of the screen right now. There's a magnifying glass next to it. If you type in debug there, a whole different options that say debug will turn up above the search bar, and then you just click on one of them and the debug catalog opens, and there's a lot of stuff to go through there, but you'll find these different drawings from seasons. So it could kind of look like the grandkids had drawn them for them, and I thought that was super cute. So I hung a couple of those around the house actually. But not yet. I think it took me a while before I actually remembered that they were a thing, but at some point I'll hang them around the house and you'll see what I mean. So this is the grandparents' bedroom. It's very simple just because I had a lot of windows on one side of the room and I don't like to place stuff in front of windows. Plus the room is actually sort of narrow, so I couldn't place anything in front of the bed just because that would cause rooting issues. But they do have a dresser in here, they have the double bed, there is a chair as well where they can sit and just chill out, or I actually like to put lounge chairs in my bedrooms just because I like the thought of, it's kind of hotel room-esque, like I'll admit that, but I like the thought of like preparing your clothes for the next day and putting them on the what's it called, the chair, so they're already ready for you. I don't know why, but when I put chairs in my bedrooms, it's because I think they could probably put their clothes on the chair so it's ready for the next day. I don't know why I do that. That's just a thing apparently. Is that a thing somewhere else? I don't really know, but that's why I do that. So they have a chair in there they can either sit and lounge in, or we can pretend like they put their clothes for the next day on the chair. I don't really know. But in here we got the kids' bedroom. So this is a super narrow bedroom, but if you look at it from the outside and see the roofing, you'll see why it's so narrow. I do think I made it work though. They do have a lot of toys in here. I also went for sort of a green and brown sort of color scheme in here as well, just because I felt like that would fit the rest of the house. And they have some school projects that I also found from activating bb.showhiddenobjects actually. So if you activate that sheet and then you go through one of the clutter categories, I don't remember which one it is, and then you filter after parenthood, they'll turn up in the catalog and they're super cute. You get all the different qualities as well, and I just like to decorate with them. I don't really know if the Sims are going to interact with them or anything. I just think they look cute. So they have a couple of those over on the hallway table under the window, and it also looks like they could store clothes and stuff on that hallway table. Actually, it doesn't work for gameplay, so I put another dresser over here, and that should be from Cats and Dogs actually. But I like how this room turned out. I think it's cute. It's very naturey but not overly naturey. I don't know how to explain it, but I like it. So this is the bigger bathroom on the second floor, or it's the only bigger bathroom in this house. I know that seems weird too, especially some of you Americans out there, because apparently it's really common in the US to have a lot of bathrooms in the house. But in my grandma's old house, the renovated farm, they basically had, they had a lot of different guest rooms on the second floor, which is also where she had her bedroom, not bathroom. There was no bathroom on the second floor, but there was a bigger bathroom on the ground floor, and right next to that one, there was a powder room, so there was only a toilet and a sink in there, and then next to on the other side of the bigger bathroom, there was a sauna. So also with my childhood home, we only had 2 bathrooms overall, even though it was a 3-story house, so I don't know, I'm used to there not being a big amount of bathrooms in houses. That's just not how it is in Denmark. So, or at least not in older houses. I don't know about newer houses, like contemporary houses, no clue. I've never been to one in Denmark, but actually that's not true because my dad lives in one. I don't know. They have 2 bathrooms. That doesn't matter anyways. So it's not very common in Denmark, at least as far as I know, to have a lot of bathrooms in the houses. So to me, I don't care to make like 4 bathrooms in the house, so hopefully it's okay with you guys that there's only 1 bigger bathroom on the second floor, but your Sims should be able to still shower on the ground floor, and there is also a toilet and also a sink, so they should be fine. There is still a bathroom down there, but it's just not a bigger one. So yeah. And this is the teens' bedroom. So the color scheme in here is a little bit different. I did go with yellow, which I also did in, at least there were hints of yellow in the kitchen, I think. This color scheme does stand out just a little bit, but I saw this bed swatch and I realized that I'd never actually used it. So I thought to myself, you have to use this bed swatch just once. So I kind of went with it. It's very white, it's very red, and there's also yellow and orange in here. It's kind of, yeah, white but autumnal at the same time, maybe a little bit spring-like, I don't really know, but I do, that was a very strange description of the color scheme, but hopefully you guys can see what I mean. It's just cute, okay? I'd never gone for that bed swatch before. I kind of like it. I had to try and make it work, even though I talked about this in my last speed build, actually, I think. I'm not very good with using white woods in my builds, just because in real life, I would spill food on the furniture and it would be ruined. It would never get clean again. So I don't like to use it in The Sims either. Also because a lot of the swatches are not the same kind of white, actually, which really bothers me. Like, if you want to make white furniture, make it proper white. Don't just make it off-white or slightly grayish, just make it white so it matches, you know, even though I'm not like a matchy person either, but still I want the white wood swatches to match, which they don't. So you can see with some of the base game counters, they're kind of like a mint colored instead. I don't really know what that's about, but anyways, so I don't often use them, but I really wanted to make that bed swatch work, so I did my best. And I actually like how that room turned out. I think it's kind of cute and a little bit different from what I usually do with teen rooms, yes. So I hope you guys like it. And yeah, we moved on to the exterior. So the rest of this video is basically just going to be landscaping and also figuring out what to do with the backyard, because I didn't really know. I didn't have a lot of space in the backyard and I was struggling a little bit with that. Also because I really wanted either like one of the grandparents to have a proper gardening area, but then I figured that they already have a lot of flowers around the house, so we can kind of pretend like that's what they spend their retirement on, like figuring out the landscaping around the house. I think that would be so cute. They do end up with a couple of plant boxes in the backyard, so they can actually plant stuff, but it's not like a big gardening area. There wasn't any room for a big gardening area, also because I really wanted them to have like a proper dining area as well. You guys know I like to put grill areas in my builds just because it's something for the Sims to do together. It's a family activity and it's cute, so I like them, and it reminds me of summers here in Denmark when I was younger. Not anymore. Actually, I'm looking forward to next summer going to my dad's and we're gonna have a barbecue because that's good. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, actually I have a terrace myself, so technically I could get a grill and I could have the barbecue myself. I am mind blown. That would be awesome. I'd invite everyone over to my apartment. I have no places for anyone to sit on, but it would be fine because we have food and food makes everything fine, right? So actually I'm gonna plan that already. We're in October, almost November. I'm planning my grill next year, or our barbecue party next year. It's gonna be awesome. But anyways, moving on. So this little area here under the tree was actually inspired by something that my dad has in his yard or garden, side yard. I don't know. It's next to the house. Anyways, so they basically have these round circles that's dug out, and they plant all these different kinds of herbs in them though, or herbs, whatever you want to call those, spices, and I think that's mainly it actually, because they have the fruit in their greenhouse instead, and also in this little area next to the house on the other side of the house. But they do have these small circular areas where they've dug it out and then planted all these sorts of different flowers and spices and stuff, and it's really cute. So I wanted to make an area like that in this this garden as well, because I think it looks really pretty. And yeah, but that was basically what that little circle under the tree was inspired by, even though in my dad's garden they don't have a tree planted there as well. But I love that white tree from Cats and Dogs. It's really pretty and I barely ever use it, so I just had to go for it this time. Plus it looks really nice on the right side of the house when you look at the house from the front. So yeah. And then we're doing some more landscaping here at the back of the house. We basically just got 3 minutes left of the video, so you can probably sense that there's not a whole lot going on in the backyard, but it'll make sense once you see it because the backyard is just really, really small. So I didn't have a lot of space to play around with, basically. I think the next build that I'm going to be doing with, like, that's not an apartment or something, I'll probably have a little bit more space in the backyard to play around with, but we will see. I really want to do that 40 by 30 rustic house that I was talking about earlier because I'm in the mood to just decorate something extremely rustic. The apartment that I've been talking about in my past couple of videos is still in the works. It's not one of the bigger ones in Uptown. It's just a bigger one in the arts quarters, I think. So, but I really want to decorate a bigger apartment for a family because I feel like it's been a while since the last big big family apartment that I've done. So I'm still working on it though. I am hoping to have it up tomorrow, but I'm actually going to the cinema tonight to watch Maleficent 2, I think. What's it called? I don't really remember what it's called, but it's Maleficent 2. I'm looking forward to it a lot, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. No spoilers, of course, but I'm gonna watch that tonight, and I'm super excited about it. But I think I should still have time to finish the apartment for tomorrow, so it should be fine. And then I'll start working on the rustic house for Friday or Saturday or something. So, but yeah, you can see this little square over here with the tiles is where I put the barbecue area. They also have a clothesline outside because I don't know, maybe the weather just happens to be nice in Brindleton now and then so they can dry their clothes outside. You never know. I feel like Brindleton Bay is probably one of the worlds where it rains the most. There's just something about Brindleton Bay that just screams rain to me. So maybe not, but we'll see. I also found the birdhouse, which is in... Oh, it's one of the decor categories. Is it the statues one? It's from Backyard Stuff Pack, I think, and it's so cute. I kind of go through phases where I forget it exists, but it's so cute, so I just had to use it for this one. It kind of reminds me of Grandma too, so it's fitting. And yeah, they also have the 4 plant boxes that I talked about earlier where they can, I don't know, plant tomatoes or something else if they want to, and maybe possibly flowers instead. I don't really know what they want, but I just figured it would be cute for the grandparents to have some gardening to do in the backyard because it was another one of those things that where I took inspiration from my own grandparents. Hopefully that makes sense. So basically they used to grow potatoes in their garden. So they used to do a little bit of gardening too. And yeah, therefore I thought it would be kind of cute if these grandparents also did that. So anyways, we are at the end of the video now. So I'll be wrapping up this voiceover now. If you guys like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. As always, if you got any suggestions for anything you want to see here on the channel, especially videos with universities since it's coming out sometime very, very soon, definitely let me know in the comments section down below. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.
Dreaming of a time when I get things right, lost in the shadows of a million stars.